He walked into the saloon with a devil's grin. 6 cards clutched tight, the whiskey soaking sin. Whispers curled round oak and smoke-chipped chairs. They'd seen that look before, felt those frozen stares. Dead man's hand at sundown, the deck is rigged by fate. When the river's cold and hollow, you're bound to meet your hate. No silver coin can save you from the ghosts that stake their claim. In the shadows of the showdown, you're just a flicker in the flame. Serpent smile, he swore on his blackened soul to take it all in style. But every chip he won was carved with trembling dread. Each victory bled whispers of the unseen dead. Dead man's hand at sundown, the prize is cursed and cruel. When the night wind cuts like razors, you're just a pawn and fool. No prayer can break the silence of the cards beneath your name. In the dance of dust and you're the ember in the game. They say the winner's doomed to dance where lost souls roam, bound in rattling chains until the final dawn. He tipped his hat to shadows, tipped his fate to fear. One heartbeat's all he had before the reaper drew near. Flickered out of breath, he lay face up on blood-worn boards, alone in certain death. The dealer's laughter faded with the break of morn. Another legend ended, another oath was sworn. Dead man's hand at sundown, it shatters hearts like glass. When the dawn reveals the price tag on each shattered past. No hero lives forever in the tales that cowboys tell, just a reel of bone and bourbon in a midnight wishing well. He staggered in with a rattled holster, eyes bloodshot and sore. Once the fiercest bounty hunter, now he's 2 shots from the floor. Whiskey dripped from his weathered lips, name faded with each pour. Chasing ghosts and empty bottles through a life he can't restore. Last call at sundown, he's a shadow on the wall. 6 feet of broken promise and a heart about to fall. He don't seek pardon, he don't beg for light, just one final duel in the dying daylight. They say he'd cornered every outlaw till his legend hit the ground, but the bottle whispered secrets that his conscience never found. Now the wanted posters taunt him from the saloon's chipped crown, and the devil's in the rafters where his fate is hanging down. Last call at sundown, he's a whisper in the breeze, a killer past redemption on his way to his disease. He don't ask mercy, he don't plead for time, just a gunfight's clang in the crimson grind. The target stood with a crooked grin, iron cold in his hand. Your lady said, and you've had your fill, now you'll make your stand. The hunter raised a trembling arm, each heartbeat's pounding drum. 2 faded Last call at sundown, a flash of steel and pain. Blood blooms on wooden planks, he's swallowed by his stain. No legend left to whisper, no ghost left to roam, just the echo of his final draw in a cold grave for a home. He rode through tumbleweeds with a ledger filled in red, chasing whispers of a phantom outlaw cursed and nearly dead. Each wanted poster bore his face, a name he tried to flee. He swore he'd claim the bounty's gold and wash his memory clean. At sundown's bleed, the wind still sighed, and every mile he felt it ride. In the mirror of a dead man's eyes, he saw the ghost he left behind. He hunted sin across these plains, only to find his own remains. He tracked that legend to an empty mill, its board stained with shame. He heard the echo of his name in every crescent flame. His hammer cocked, his finger twitched, he vowed he'd never fall. But shadows stretched to meet his steps and answered with his call. The moonlight spilled a truth too harsh, a silhouette both friend and mar. In the mirror of a dead man's eyes, he saw the ghost he left behind. He hunted sin across these plains, only to find his own remains. He fired once, the echo cracked, nobody hit the floor. Instead he felt a shiver down his spine as two hearts heard one roar. A ragged laugh, a ragged breath, he turned and saw the face of the wanted man he chased so long reflected in his place. The outlaw he'd been chasing was the man within his clothes. The bullet found his hollow chest and every secret knows. He fell beside the broken mill where dust and blood conspire, and in his grip he held the note, you're both the law and liar. In the mirror of a dead man's eyes, he finally met his end. He hunted sin across these plains, under a soulless moon, he bent his back to sin and spark, molten grief in every swing, bloodlust singing in the dark. He carved runes with trembling hands on iron forged in shame, swore to end the Lord of Lies with one unholy frame. Black steel and broken nose, scream sealed inside the grain. One shot to pierce the devil's heart, one bullet born of pain. But faith cracked like the hollow drum, the hammer dulled to rust. Now hell's own laughter rides the wind, the gun lies lost in dust. Drank from curses, silver flask chased shadows in his veins. Each drop a dagger in his soul, each memory a chain. His forge grew cold beneath the weight of promises he'd spent, and midnight flames devoured hope, left nothing but consent. Black steel and broken notes, blood carved in every line, a single prayer the devil heard, this world will be mine. But the barrel bowed beneath the curse, the trigger snapped in two. Now the prince of darkness walks unchecked, and that weapon's fate withdrew. Found him by the riverbank, hands blackened with regret, eyes hollow pits that spilled the ash of every promise left. He whispered, "Forgive me," to the night. No answer came but crows, and the devil's shadow claimed his soul where the wicked river flows. Black steel and broken nose, hellfire in the rain. That devil's gun lies buried deep beneath the bones of Cain. He failed to kill the darkness, now darkness holds him tight, and the echoes of his failure howl through everlasting night. I was born beneath a blood-red moon. Mama died in a hotel room. Daddy ran with a gun in hand, left me standing in the devil's land. I learned to fight before I learned to read. Bled from knuckles, cried through teeth. I swore an oath with my broken bones to never die till I burned their thrones. They took her life and smiled wide. Now every mile's where I let one die. I don't need no tombstone standing tall, just a pile of names when I finally fall. No preacher praying, no morning bell, just the sound of boots and the stench of hell. I ain't looking for peace or plea, there'll be no tombstone for me. First one begged, but I ain't deaf. You found out slow what comes after theft. The second one ran, but hell runs fast. You screamed like wind through shattered glass. Third one smiled, said it's just a game. Now his name's just ash in the mountain rain. Ain't no law that can chain my wrath, just ghosts and fire on a blood-washed path. I dream in red and I wake in black. I don't stop, I don't look back. I don't need no tombstone dressed in grace, just a trail of bones in a barren place. No choir singing, no final plea, just the wind that whispers what's left of me. Let them curse or cry or flee, there'll be no tombstone for me. Deep in a hole unmarked, but my wrath don't die when the sky turns dark. I ain't made for peace or heaven's gate. I was forged in loss and I carry hate. I don't need no cross or holy light, just thunder rolling through the night. No name carved, no soul set free, just ash and smoke. ghastly, there'll be no tombstone for me. He stood behind that splintered pew, cross in hand, his conscience true. But every sermon sold him lies, and guilt grew heavy in his eyes. The cattle died in the drought's cruel breath, the congregation bowed to death. So he looked to heaven and found no grace, just an empty pulpit and a fallen place. Ash on his collar, fire in his veins, he traded prayers for iron chains. Now he rides the valley of bone and sand, the preacher's gone, only the killer stands. Psalms are bullets, his hymns are scars, he finds redemption beneath the stars. A widow knelt at the river's bend, her prayers like echoes to the wind. He offered mercy, then drew his blade, saying mercy's currency I can't afford to trade. Tears burned paths down her hollow cheeks, he left her faith in the water's reach. For every soul he claimed that night, he felt his faith slip from his side.
They say the devil's choir sings with broken chords.
He found himself in a ghost-lit camp, surrounded by men whose sins ran damp. They stared long at his preacher's tie, then spat on the cross he'd let die. One drew first, eyes cold and bored, he fired twice and two men's sword. He laid their bodies by a withered tree and carved a psalm for eternity. Smoke on the wind, blood on the ground, he's both the lost and what they found. Now he rides the valley of bone and sand, the preacher's gone, only the killer stands. His psalms are bullets, his hymns are scars, he finds redemption beneath the stars. No choir sings when his story ends, just the rattling bones of forgotten friends. The moon was low and the stars burned out. I left behind what I couldn't live without. A letter thrown in the wind unread, a promise broken and a soul misled. The barroom door swung open wide, another fight, another lie. I've spilled more blood than I can recall, and I can't escape this hell at all. Now it's whiskey and ashes burning in the dark, a man too broken to leave a mark. I'll drink to the nights I can't forget and drown in the sins I can't regret. Oh, the more I run, the more I fall. I'm just a ghost with no name at all. I remember a time when love came easy, but the fire burned fast and I couldn't see. She begged me to stay, but I chose to chase. Now I'm just a shadow with no home, no place. The years went by like a fading song. The road got longer and the nights got wrong. I lost more than just her touch. I lost myself and it hurt too much. leave a mark. I'll drink to the nights I can't forget, and drown in the sins I can't regret. Oh, the more I run, the more I fall. I'm just a ghost with no name at all. Whiskey and ashes burning me down till there's nothing left but the sound.
He rode in silent fury, spurs like bleeding cries, a wanted man with hollow eyes and hell beneath his skies. They branded him a monster for the score he'd made in red, but justice wore a crooked smile the night his lawman bled. Welcome to the valley of no return, where the guilty burn and the sinners learn. No mercy finds the outlaw's heart, only ash and echoes in the dark. She was the preacher's daughter, spun to sin by gambler's lies. He stole her faith, he stole her breath, and left her cold to die. She crawled from broken stained glass with poison on her tongue, swore she'd hunt him till the world stood still and every bell was rung. Welcome to the valley of no return, where the blood runs deep and the devils yearn. No grace survives this bitter fight, only vengeance draped in midnight's light. They say the wind still whispers through the canyon's jagged walls, a woman's cry, a man's last breath, a final gunshot falls. No cross to mark their memory, no tears to mourn their sin, just two shadows trapped in dust that never let them in. He faced her at high noon, revolver shaking in his hand, each heartbeat choked with memories he could no longer stand. She aimed without a flicker, her judgment cold and sure. One pull, one flash, one final step, then iron hit the floor. Welcome to the valley of no return, where the lost awake and the vultures turn. No peace for souls who've paid it in blood, only stillness under a crimson flood. Came barefoot through the rattler's den, crossed broken spurs and whispered sin, scarred by secrets no soul could bear, a raven's shadow tangled in his hair. Cold steel whispers on midnight air, a promise carved in a hell-bound prayer. Under the blood moon's glow, he rides alone, with spurs that jingle, graves of bone. No hymn can save him, no dawn can break, just the echo of the vows he'll weeping by the old creek bed. Eyes of sorrow, words unsaid. Will you hunt him down? Her voice like glass. He tipped his hat and let the stillness pass. Each footstep calls the restless dead. Their hollow wails chase where he's led. Under the blood moon's glow, he rides alone with spurs that jingle, graves of bone. No hymn can save him, no dawn can break, just the echo of the vows he'll never forsake. Rattle, rattle, hear the cry, spurs of bone where angels die. Blood and thunder, dust and dread, ride till nothing's left but lead. He cornered his quarry in a canyon sled. Silver bullet spinning from his head. One shot rang like a judge's toll. Left two ghosts dancing on a blackened knoll. No mercy granted, no pardon found. Only the wind and its mournful sound. Under the blood moon's glow, he rides alone with spurs that jingle, graves of bone. No hymn can save him, no dawn can break, just the echo of the vows he'll never forsake. Sunset bled like cheap red wine across the desert floor. He slid onto a bar stool as the doors creaked shut once more. A shot of amber mercy warmed the scars upon his soul. But in the haze of neon light he heard a challenge roll. Glass trembled in his hand, breath caught in his chest. He knew that whiskey's comfort was the calm before the test. Whiskey-Lead and last rites, he's dancing on the edge tonight. Spurs ringing out a warning in the fading neon light. No hymn to save the sinner, no prayer to end the fight. Just a taste of smoke and iron when the world goes black at midnight. Across the sawdust floor, a stranger's shadow took its stand. Holster low and fingers twitching, fire burning in his hand. The bartender washed his hands of all the blood that might be spilled as two ghosts measured in the dark the weight of all their guilt. Bottles rattled on the shelf, time slowed to a crawl. He raised that glass, he raised his gun, he braced to risk it all. Whiskey-Lead and last rites, he's dancing on the edge tonight. Spurs ringing out a warning in the fading neon light. No hymn to save the sinner, no prayer to end the fight. Just a taste of smoke and iron when the world goes
blackened midnight. Thunder split the room, brass met flesh and soon a flower bloom. He staggered back, blood warm in every plea, whispered forgive me to the whiskey in his teeth. Whiskey-Lead and last rites, he's fallen out of hell's own sight, Spurs silenced by the stillness of his final fight. No tears to mark his passing, no bells to toll his plight, just the drift of dust and shadows in the bar at dead of night. Midnight's breath smoke through the town. We hit the bank with our hammers down. Lanterns cracked on dusty stone, 4 desperate men far from home. Golden sacks and hearts ablaze, but fear runs cold in a crooked maze. Shadows on the safe tell tales of sin. When bullets fly, no one can win. A robbery gone wrong in the devil's embrace. Now blood runs free where the safe should have stayed. Joe's hand shook as the lock gave way. He grabbed the gold and heard the fray. Sheriff's hat spun through the air. Lads sang death in the lantern's glare. One man fell with the final cry. His ghost still haunts that midnight sky. We stumbled out through the broken door. 3 living men and 1 soul no more. Silver stained in the desert wind. Regrets no salve for the blood we've sinned. I rode alone through Coyote's Call, haunted by echoes of that deadly brawl. Gold weighs heavy in saddlebags, but guilt rides harder on outlaws' back. Shadows on the safe tell tales of sin. When bullets fly, no one can win. The safe should have stayed. slow under crimson skies, dust on his boots, death in his eyes. Didn't want silver, didn't want gold, just a name in his mouth and a heart gone cold. They burned his home, took his kin, laughed in the dark while they did their sin. Now he don't pray, he don't cry, he just rides with a gun and a goodbye. He don't want no riches, don't care about fame, ain't got nothing but a shadow and a name. No cross to bear, just a devil's choir. He's trading blood for the fire. Oh, he's trading blood for the fire. The barkeep said, son, best let it lie. He grinned like a wolf and said, so must you die. Each town he passed left red in the dirt, a sermon in smoke, a hymn in the herd. He found the last one under neon lights, drunk off sin and Saturday night. Said, you remember the flames, the screams. Then he shot that man right out of his dreams. He don't want no mercy, don't seek no peace. He made a vow that the hunt won't cease. No love to give, just a funeral pyre. He's trading blood for the fire. Yeah, he's trading blood for the fire. The preacher said, son, you've lost your soul. He lit a match and said, that's the goal. Hell ain't a place, it's a path you pave, with 6 empty shells and a shallow grave. He don't want no heaven, don't fear the end. He just wanted to bury every last friend. No light, no hope, just barbed wire. Still trading blood for the fire. Forever trading blood for the fire. Dust kicks up, boots on fire, trail of sins and loaded wire. Whiskey whispers scorch my soul, burning hollow where the cold winds roll. Black hat hides a killer's eyes, steel tongue speaks where the liars lie. Shadows dance in a crooked grin, this game's rigged but I'm all in. Steel in the shadows, knives in the air, fangs in the dark and nobody cares. Smoke and thunder, blood runs thin, a rebel's ghost where the fight begins. The preacher's promise drowned in lies, long road dead and the devil tries. Took my name, carved it in stone, but I traded my faith for a kingdom of bones. Drums of war shake the ground, body breaking with the clash of sound. Howling wolves and a face like sin, God ain't watching when the red creep in. Steel in the shadows, knives in the air, fangs in the dark and nobody cares. Smoke and thunder, blood runs thin, a rebel's ghost where the fight begins. soften the devil's hell right on the Blackened trail. He came at dusk with a scowl for the moon, a 6-gun oath and a heart of ruin. No name to speak and no tears to shed, just rage that burned where the innocent bled. Sing low the tale when the red sun fell. They found young Mary down by the creek, eyes wide with terror, her spirit weak. He'd taken her gold and he'd taken her song, left her to shadows he didn't belong. Sing low the tale when the red sun fell. Old Jed the preacher rose from his knees, spoke blood-soaked words on the midnight breeze. Your soul's in perdition, you damned outlaw, I'll hunt you down with God's own law. Sing low the tale when the red sun fell. Shots cracked like a thundered lie. One man stood while the other died. Sing low the tale when the red sun fails. Now travelers whisper of a lone rider's ghost roaming the gulch where he killed his host. No rest for the wicked, no grave in sight. He rides a blackened trail each blood-red night. Sing low the tale when the red sun fails.
He came riding down like a bullet storm, black coat ripping where the wind was warm. No name spoken, no eyes to trust, just a weight of fire and a trail of dust. Folks stepped back as his boots hit ground, steel in his gait, no mercy found. The saloon door groaned like it knew his tale, a man who rides on the devil's trail. Black Spurs burn when justice hides, he's the howl in the hills where vengeance rides. With a fist full of iron and a soul gone dry, he's the bullet you pray don't find your eye. No law, no prayer, no place to turn when the black Spurs burn. He don't speak much, just tips his brim. The coffin maker knows it's him. They killed his brother neath a crossroad tree, hung him high, then rode off free. But he ain't one for courts or grace. He brings the verdict face to face. One by one they'll taste that flame. Every bastard gonna curse his name. Black Spurs burn when the deal goes wrong. He's a six-string death in a gunfight song, with thunder in his boots and blood in his wake. He don't knock twice when it's souls he takes. No sin too dark, no stone unturned when the black Spurs burn. You hear his horse before the dawn, A shadow stretched too far, too long. Last man cried, it weren't my hand. He just nodded, gun in hand. Maybe not, but you still stood by. Then lit the match and watched him fry. Black spurs burn like a funeral hymn. No grave deep enough to bury him. Ash on his breath, brimstone and stride. He ain't the devil, but they walk side by side. So run or kneel or twist and squirm. The black spurs burn. Yeah, the black spurs burn.
Chapel gray with shadows yoke, she stood with hands that never spoke. Her black veil danced with the howling gust and trembled with words made of dust. Gold was his promise, silver his stain, a diamond spun vow, now a broken ring. The bloodstained trail from the gambling room led her to dress in the colors of doom. Oh, the widow walks where the roses fade, where whispers linger, betrayals trade, steel in her hand, poison in her chest. She'll carve his name, lay his soul to rest. The lantern light kissed her hollowed eyes, warmed by the sparks and scorched goodbyes. She followed the laughter down the crooked lane. Each step was a ghost that screamed his name. In the saloon he met the devil's bride, shot whiskey with honey, his sins amplified. But from her shadow death cut a deeper tone, the widow's vengeance, her hymn alone. Oh, the widow walks where the roses fade, where whispers linger, betrayals trade, steel in her hand, poison in her chest. She'll carve his name, lay his soul to rest.
On my back, dust rises thick, choking the track. Sun bleeds red, horizon cracks. This ain't no road, just a heart attack. Steel bite cold, revolver in hand, shadow stretch long across the badland. Wolves at my heels, bites of quicksand. Justice rides me, curse of this damn land. Gallop to ruin, no turning back. Blood on the trail, hearts fade to black.
Serpents grin wide, ribs shudder fast, fueling this ride. Echoes of wrongs that I've been denied. This vengeance heavy, no place to hide. The wind it howls, screams like a knife. Every breath stolen, fighting for life. The shadow grows sharp as a harrowed strife. Every ounce of soul fights to survive. Gallop to ruin, no turning back. Blood on the trail, hearts fade to black. Fingers twitch on the edge of attack. Fast boots drum on a deadly track. Gallop to ruin, no turning back. Blood on the trail, hearts fade to black. Fingers twitch on the edge of attack. Fast boots drum on a deadly track.
His boots sank deep in the canyon's red. Sun baked dry what the river bled. A rusted pig come from calloused hands, chasing gold in those haunted lands. They whispered tales of the silver vein, where men dug deep and went insane. But hope beats hard in a prospector's chest, so he laid his claim and faced the rest.
The shadows crawl where the daylight dies, and every glance a ghost in disguise. Under moonlit skies, a canyon moans. Silver glitters over buried bones. No prayer can save you once you've seen the curse that sleeps in the silver vein. On the second dawn, his shovel sprang. Clink of metal as the darkness rang. A seam of light in the jagged stone. Cold as death, it called him home. He tasted dust on his cracked lips, felt cold fingers on his fingertips. But greed runs deep where blood still boils, so he broke the seal and he claimed his spoil. Echoes dance in the hollow earth, counting sins by the final word. Under moonlit skies, the canyon moans. Silver glitters over buried bones. No prayer can save you once you've seen the curse that sleeps in the silver vein. They say the mind will bleed you dry, that every soul who enters dies. But silver's promise haunts your veins, to your just echoes in those plains. He struck the vein at the stroke of 9. Blood ran cold through the seam's design. Shadows rose from the trembling floor. 7 lifeless forms on that cavern shore. He dropped his lamp but saw too late. The silver vein seals every fate. His final breath caught in that wail. A miner's curse on a cursed trail. Under moonlit skies, a canyon moans. Silver glitters over buried bones. No prayer can save you once you've seen the curse that sleeps in the silver vein. Now he rides the nights alone, a restless ghost of flesh and bone. Beware the gleam that calls your name, lets you join the wraith of the silver vein. And if you hear that
the sky on fire, blood on my coat and a heart for hire. Folks went quiet when I passed through, cause the devil sent me, but I came for you. I don't need gold, I don't want land, just the weight of justice in my hand. You lit the match, now smell the smoke. The fuse is gone and the chain just broke. Ashes ain't enough for what you've done. You're burning the blaze when I draw my gun. You can pray, you can plead, but I don't bluff. You stole my soul. Now ashes ain't enough. You played God with a liar's smile, buried love in a graveyard mile. I crawled through hell just to find your trail. Now every breath you take is stale. I ain't no saint, I ain't no king, but I'm the crack in everything. Your time is short, the night is near, and vengeance rides without a fear. Ashes ain't enough for what you've done. This ain't justice, this is the sun exploding hot behind my eyes. You'll bleed the truth through all your lies. You took my fire, you lit it rough. Now ashes ain't enough. I etched your name in the dust and bone, swore I'd never die alone. So count the steps, I'm coming fast, and everyone might be your last. Ashes ain't enough, I want the screams, the end of men who kill with dreams. No peace, no cross, no grave, no blood. You lit the fire. Now ashes ain't enough. When the smoke clears and the dust turns red, remember me and all I said. Midnight desert, blood hot sand, iron wheels carve a mournful stand. A lone stagecoach with no driver's hand tracks the moon like a lost command. Inside four souls bound by sin, each heart a debt they cannot win. Chains rattle softly in the empty land. The devil's carriage holds them as kin. Hear the axles groan, your fate's a sign. No turning back on this cursed line. Ride the devil's carriage through the blackened sky, where hope goes hollow and prayers run dry. No chance at heaven, no chance to hide, just the rattling bones of the crucified. Sarah's tears stain the gambler's cuff. He'd sold her all but his final bluff. Tom the outlaw spat in God's own face, found his name etched on a hangman's brace. Old Judge McCrea sold his verdict to hell. Bartender Jim watched the whole town sell. Together they wait where the red storms swell. Their sins alight like a funeral bell. Dust and embers, blood and light. The devil's toll is a silent cry. Ride the devil's carriage. Midnight desert, blood hot sand, iron wheels carve a mournful stand. A lone stagecoach with no driver's hand tracks the moon like a
lost command. Inside, 4 souls bound by sin, each out of debt they cannot win. Chains rattle softly in the empty land. The devil's carriage holds them as kin. Hear the axles groan.
I took my time and I walked alone, chasing dreams down a gravel road. Each step I took, the weight got more, till I couldn't see what I was walking for. The whiskey burned, the nights got cold. I sold my soul, but I never sold. The scars they wear are just like gold, but the devil don't care, he just takes his toll. I've been down the devil's road, where hope ain't nothing but a light to hold. The fire don't warm, the wind don't blow, and you can't outrun the debts you owe. Oh, I've walked that line, I paid that price. Now I'm just a ghost in the rolling dice. My heart for a promise I couldn't keep. They say time heals, but it never gave back what I lost when I turned my back. I heard her voice in the midnight rain. She left me once and I felt that pain. Now it's too late and I can't look back. I'm walking with shadows wearing black. I've been down just a ghost in the rolling dice. You think you can outrun your past, but every step you take, it's coming fast. No matter how far you try to roam, the devil always finds a way to bring you home. I've been down the devil's road, where hope ain't nothing but a heart turned cold. The fire's gone out, but the pain still shows, and you can't